I'd like to give you some tips on how to do the type of research that we're looking for here. Many of you have learned to do research in high school or in college or in somewhere else where the note taking and the annotation style is just a little bit different than what we're going to need to look for. So I'm gonna give you some tips and some tools to do. So the first thing is you'll notice from the laundry to landscape, you've got some resources. You've got some information from the state of California, which is kind of cool. You have to kind of get around with it because they move stuff around sometimes. You've got a cool thing about a thing that happened in San Francisco, which is kind of good to know about. You've got good old stuff from Mother Earth News that you can learn some information about. But the main one, since this is for the city of Davis, is going to be your City of Davis ordinance or your City of Davis page. So we're going to go there and do the majority of our work there. You could also use Wikipedia or any other Google search that you want to get information. But I'm going to start here, and I notice a few things. I read it very quickly. There's something, this is about installing gray water systems. And if I don't know what gray water is, I might have to look that up. And then I notice it says what it is here. Gray water is collected from sinks, except for the kitchen sink, showers, bathtubs, and or washing machines. And it can be used for landscape or toilet flushing. Okay, gray water does not include wastewater from kitchen sinks or dishwashers. It's because they have a much different biological makeup to them. So they're very specific about what they consider to be gray water and what you can use. So that's probably something I need to know. So I'm going to make myself presentation here, and I'm going to set these side by side so that I can see them both. And look at how big this is. That's there we go. That looks okay. And I don't need these things right now. I'm just going to be taking some notes. Okay? And what I do is I look at a heading and I put it over here. And then what I do is I go, I wonder if I know what all that is. I don't know what gray water is. So I'm going to make that kind of a different color. I'm going to make it red so that I know. I need to figure out what gray water is. And then, as you know, I found it. Gray water is that right there. Control C. So I'm going to put it in there. And I think I just went, there we go. So I have a note now. I have something. What is gray water? And it says what it is. So I've done some research. That's cool. Okay. And then I've got this cool picture. This is a cool picture. That's really good for me to know about. So I'm going to take a snip of that. I'm going to put it over here. And I would label this with some things that I know and things that I don't know. Okay? And I sort of I'm doing this is my general research. And so I'm going to make this big right now and I'm going to talk about a few things to make this a little bit. There we go. So over here, this is about plantings, irrigation, where the water goes. So I'm just, okay, so now I've got a little bit about that, and I may make that the focus of what I want to do. And I don't know what this is, so I'll probably have to figure out what that is. It's some sort of it's like there's a little box or something there. So I'm gonna put something in here. So what is this? And then if I don't know what it is, I might go, how am I going to find out? Who would I ask? Well, I would ask somebody who knows about landscape. And you could ask one of your colleagues in the class about that. Find out who does landscape and ask them, what is that? And what types of plants? There's another good question. All of a sudden, see, I'm getting questions. What types of plants can I use gray water on, especially detergent water? That might be bad for some types of plants. There's some sort of detergent that gets used. Oh, so then I might ask a question, says, what type of detergent? So I'm asking questions, and now I've got enough that if I were doing a section on plantings or the irrigation, I could start researching this so that I would know what to do here. Okay, so that comes out of there. Let's go back and look now at something else. These are some requirements here. As I start to read this, this is a description of laundry to landscape. There it is right there. Branched drain. Branch drain pumped systems require a temporary dual drainage plumbing, typically in new construction or major. Ooh, so you might look at this dual drainage plumbing, typically seen in newer construction. Da, da, da. Access all household gray water in one pipe. That might really be interesting if you do architecture. So I'm going to make a new page here. And I'm gonna paste that into here just to see. So you see how your research is at first a little bit undirected. It's a little bit undirected at first. But I can look at this now and think about it. Dual drainage plumbing, new construction or major remodels. So if you're going to do an architectural project, although we're really talking about laundry to landscape, you might figure out how to incorporate your laundry to landscape into a single gray water system for a house, because you would need to figure out how to hook in your how to separate toilets and kitchen sink from the drains from the other things. So you'd want to be able to put your washing machine, your bathroom sink, your shower or bathtub all onto one drain line. And that's kind of an interesting architectural project all in its own. So I might write a note here. Design a house with shower, bathtub, bathroom sink, laundry, all on one drain system that can be sent to either landscape or sanitary drain. And you can start researching that. How big does it have to be? How small can it be? What kind of slope do you need? Do you need to be able to separate out detergents? Does it need to have a cistern or a settling area? How can that go? So you see how the research might work. But I'm going to continue on with this one because I'm going to pretend I'm going to do research now on plantings. Okay, so I put some information down and I'm still on my front page and I'm into here. So what does it say? Ooh, no spray irrigation. So I'm going to put that down. No spray irrigation. So I wonder what that means. Oh, it says you can use, okay, subsoil irrigation. Now, if you don't know what subsoil irrigation is, you're going to have to look that up. I'm going to make that one red also. It's something I have to look up. So everything that I don't know, maybe I don't know what spray irrigation is either. So if it's red, I'm going to go look it up. And once I find out about it, I might be able to do some stuff. No ponding. I kind of get that. It's exterior use only. So I can't use it inside the house. So it has to go outside. So I'm starting to get some ideas. I can either talk about the plantings or I can talk about what these weird things are and maybe how to design them. Okay. Or where they're located with respect to the plants. I've actually done this too. I did work for a veg crops when I was in college. So I learned some basic farming techniques. And I put in a vegetable bed using gray water from a shower. So I have a gray water system from my laundry at my house. And I do live in Davis, by the way. And one from a shower. And this one feeds one area. They don't go together. This feeds one area. And the one from my shower actually feeds orchards in a tree. And I did find out how to do subsoil irrigation. I figured out how to do that. So I'm trying to give you some clues on how to do the research. Here's the takeaway. Read, copy key points, and when you don't know what something means, make it red. And then find out the answer to what that means. That's how you do the research and drive it all towards your focused intent. Now, you may already know what you want to do. You may know you want to look at what plants can use detergent water, or you may want to figure out what these are, or you may want to know what slope your irrigation piping needs to be run at and how you trench it and what you have to do for backfill and top fill and sheathing and things like that. So you may want to work on that, or you may want to work on the valve, or you may want to work on the building. If you already know, that's great. And you'll just drive towards the answers. And I would use this as your focal point for learning your research, doing your research. Okay? The other thing to use, of course, is this. Now, you might also want to read the plumbing code. It's kind of important to look through this summary. Oh, look at this summary of requirements. This is California code. Oh, have an easy way to flow it back to the sewer, and the valve must be labeled. Irrigate landscape plants. Oh, it has to stay on the same property. Okay. Oh, you have to make a maintenance manual. And you have to discharge at least 2 inches under mulch, plastic, sealed, or stones. And it cannot contain diaper water, hazardous chemical. Oh, so this is really cool. This is a really, really good one right here because it'll help you figure out. So you might want to make a copy of this and put it on your slide too. So somewhere you're going to keep a bunch of information that you can draw upon that will help you answer questions. See how I focused my design on this part right here. You might focus your design on this part here, this part here, this part here, this part here, this part here. Many places to focus your design. Okay, so that's the preliminary look at how to do research, and I will show you more in coming videos.